Hey, what's up guys, it's Jay Rossi here. And today we're reviewing every museum of natural history that I've been to over the last 4 years. I'm a big fan of them and I'm excited to talk about them. Let's go. I tried to shuffle these a bit, but the first one we have is Melbourne Museum. I went to this one in 2024. It's not purely natural history, but there's definitely a big focus on natural history and biology. I am feeling a classic B tier for this one. They had a really cool Triceratops exhibit. They had some cool fossils. Next up is OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. This I'm feeling maybe C tier. Again, not purely natural history, but they have a really cool fossil section and they have, you can actually watch people like clean off the fossils. So that's cool. Next up, the La Brea Tar Pits. The La Brea Tar Pits one is really interesting because it's just a museum that's kind of built on top of the La Brea Tar Pits in Los Angeles, like SoCal area. They just have a bunch of the findings from their display, like a bunch of the fossils they have. So they have saber-toothed cats. They have those like giant bears. It's really cool. And I think it's like a really great use of a museum to showcase archaeological / like paleontological site. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I'm thinking maybe we'll put it in B tier, but like a strong B tier. The National Museum of Natural Science. Oh yeah, this one is in Taichung, Taiwan, or Taichung. This one was really cute. The coolest part, I'm gonna put it in B tier for now. The coolest part of this museum was definitely the T-Rex animatronic. I think more museums of natural history should do animatronics. I was a really big fan of that. They actually suited it up in like a Taiwanese spacesuit. I think it was some kind of celebration of Taiwan space mission. We'll go B tier for now. I'll try my best not to butcher this. The Museo de Ciencias Naturales de Barcelona. And I went to this one spring break of 2025, so more recently. With this museum, it was a lot smaller. Like you have to tap into one area and it's like pretty small, but it's very, very curated. It's very aesthetic. The lighting is really cool. And they have like a good arrangement of specimens. I'm thinking this one's gonna go A tier. Boom. Oh, next up, my alma mater, the University of Michigan Museum of Natural History, UMMNH. You should check it out if you're visiting Michigan or a student there. But I spent a lot of time in this one because I studied ecology and paleontology. So I had a few classes in there. It's also very curated. I really, really appreciate their Hall of Evolution exhibit. But I think some of the other, there's like a bacteria exhibit, which feels a little bit outdated to me. Like it's childish. I know I'm like a grown man going to these museum exhibits for little kids, but some of it feels outdated. Whereas the evolution, the Hall of Evolution exhibit feels like very curated, very well done. It's being held back a bit by some of its older exhibits, I would say. They have a really good collection of woolly mammoths and mastodons. So if you're interested in that, I would check it out. There's actually mammoths and mastodons like that have been found in the state of Michigan, which is really cool. And for that reason, I will be giving it a B tier. Next up is, let me zoom in here. I believe this is Tokyo. Yes, this is the Tokyo National Museum of Nature and Science. This one was really, really cool. I'm between S and A tier already. They have a lot of dinosaur fossils, which, you know, that's how you get me. But they have them laid out or like displayed in really cool ways. Like my favorite one might be a T-Rex where it's like nesting. Like it's just really cool. And really the main thing that sticks to me from that is that one room with all like the big dinosaur fossils laid out. So I think I might go S tier for this one. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Next up, we're at the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County. This museum was also really cool. I really liked it. The standout for me was definitely the ammonite shells. An impressive layout. There was a lot to explore. I really liked it. It felt modern and like it was well taken care of. The exterior is really pretty. I think they host events there, like parties, dinners, and I'd love to go to one day. If you have a contact, let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna put this one S tier again, S tier. We'll keep it S tier for now. I might rearrange towards the end. I kind of want that bell curve distribution. I remember this one. This is in the Claremont Consortium or something. It's by Pomona College. I know, because I was visiting a friend at Pomona College and I had a free day, so I went to the Raymond M. Alf Museum of Paleontology. I walked around and it was really cool, really well curated. Also a little bit smaller, but I just like the vibe a lot. So I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. It feels like it's a good match with the Barcelona Museum of Natural History. Next up, we have the Perot Museum of Nature and Science. This one's in Dallas, Texas, maybe Dallas-Fort Worth area, but it is really pretty. The building's one big cube. They actually have like a T-Rex standing that you could see when you're driving by. It's standing at the top of like an escalator or staircase. So layout's really cool. But I don't remember too many of the interior fossils. And a big part of this ranking is the impression it left on me. I thought some of the informational exhibits were really cool. It was maybe more text heavy, but it was a good layout. I'm thinking for these reasons, I'll give it an A tier. Also, I really like their logo. The red square or red brackets around the planet is just dope. So boom, A tier. Next up, we have the Oxford, that's the one with the dodo bird, the Oxford Museum of Natural History. It has a layout kind of like a lot of the other European ones, I think, where it's just like one really big room with a lot of specimens. There was some cool stuff in there. They had a lot of cool stuff on coloration. They had this nice layout where they showed like all the colors of different things. So I'm feeling C tier. No hate. C tier is just my gut instinct. Really no hate to any of these museums. Like they're all doing miraculous things. They're educating the public. But the Oxford Museum felt a little smaller in scale and not as curated as some of the other museums. And I guess curation's really big to me. Okay, this logo is weird, but this is the National Taiwan Museum, which is not purely a natural history museum, but they have a big natural history section. Just right off the cuff, I'm feeling B tier. Feels very much like a B tier museum. They have a cool exhibit. It's like one really cool room with fossils out, and I liked it. Didn't leave a huge impression. I was looking at some pictures from earlier, and they have like a pretty part, so it was a nice place. This is the Museum of Natural History in Paris, but I'm also combining it with the Museum of Comparative Anatomy and Paleontology. The Paris Museum has some really cool stuff. They have a lot of like weird surgery stuff, which is like from France in the 1700s, like a lot of specimens preserved in formaldehyde or alcohol. And it's like conjoined twins. They have a whole like shelf on conjoined twins. It's so weird. The layout is also like really cool. It's just one long room. And then you just have like plaques and like little wooden stands. And that's where the dinosaurs and extinct animals are. And also just like still extant or living animals. So the layout's really cool. And then along the shelves, you have all these weird collections from like centuries of French paleontologists. They removed the entire nervous system from several monkeys. The brain and all the nerves through the body are just taken out and then kept in alcohol. So this one really stuck with me. I thought it was really cool and just really unique. And for that, I'm putting it in A tier. The Florida Museum of Natural History is cool, also a little small. They have some cool exhibits. So Florida actually didn't have any dinosaurs ever. Instead, they had a lot of large mammals from, I want to say, the Pleistocene, because Florida was actually underwater for like the whole period of the dinosaurs. So there's not really any dinosaur fossils there, but they have a lot of cool insect stuff and megafauna, large mammals. So if that's your thing, I recommend checking it out, but didn't have dinosaurs. And that's a big hit for me because, you know, I'm a dinosaur dude. So Florida, I'm going to put you be C tier. It was nice, though. It was nice. There was cool stuff. It's just the lack of dinosaurs hurts me. It's a strong C tier. It could be promoted. Next up is the Harvard Museum of Comparative Zoology. I have a lot of good memories around this museum. I kind of like did an internship where I was working in it, actually. So, or not in it, like in one of the offices above it. So that was really cool. The thing is, I don't like all the taxidermy. I'm not a huge taxidermy fan. Taxidermy, if you're not aware, is the animals where they kill it and then they get the skin and then they put it on a mannequin of some kind. And it's supposed to be like lifelike, but a lot of the taxidermy there is very outdated. Another big thing I don't like is the smell. It just smells bad because of all the taxidermy. It smells of formaldehyde and alcohol. So I'm sorry, I don't like it. I have good memories there. I had fun visiting it. And they have a really cool Kronosaurus fossil there, which is huge. It's like a 30 or 40 foot long ichthyosaur. Hopefully I got it right. But you know, one of the marine reptiles that exists around the time of the dinosaurs. It's 40 feet long. I actually have a shirt of it. Here, I'll show it to you. This is my shirt from the Harvard Museum of Natural History. So for that, I'm putting it in the C tier. Maybe even D. No, it wasn't that bad. It was like a pretty standard museum. I just really don't like taxidermy. And I think this shows how personal museum taste is and like your experience, because the smell just is too much for me. But that's the main reason. If it smelled nice, it'd be a B tier for sure. Next up is the Rotterdam Museum of Natural History in the Netherlands. And I don't know why, but I really didn't like this museum. I think it's because I was on a cruise, like a river cruise at the time. And I set aside like a specific day to go to this. And it was just kind of a disappointment. Lots of taxidermy. It was really small. The coolest part was the whale and dolphin skulls. But overall, I just didn't like it that much. So that is going in D tier. Sorry. Next up, we have the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History, or the National Museum of Natural History. This one's in Washington, D.C. Obviously super important, but I haven't been there since 2019, so I don't remember a lot of it. I remember like overall liking it, but I think I just didn't love museums as much at the time. But I know how important it is, and I looked at some pictures, and it looks really nice, and they have like really cool fossils, and the whale models are sick. So I'm going to put this in A tier. Next up, we have a sleeper pick. This is the Burke Museum at the University of Washington in Seattle. And I really like this one. The layout was so cool. The architecture was just really sick. It's going to go in A tier. It kind of reminds me of the Museum of Natural Science of Barcelona, where the lighting's really cool. The architecture is just really nice. Like all the aesthetics are there. It feels very curated, like a premium museum experience. They cut out all the fat. Next up is the American Museum of Natural History. Need I say more? S tier. No, I'm gonna top S tier, okay? It was awesome. It was so good. I went last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Best thing ever. They are potentially the best to ever do it, okay? The dinosaur layout was cool. The whales were cool. Just the atmosphere was awesome. Like, this is the standard for museums of natural history, except for one more contender you'll see later. I think might top it. But American Museum of Natural History, super cool. I also had a really fun trip, so it might be influencing it, but this is a definitive S tier. All right, next up is the Australian Museum in Sydney, Australia. This one had like very little natural history, I think. It was a good mix of a lot of stuff. The coolest thing for me is they had like a dead T-Rex, and it's like laid out dead, and like they dissected it. So you could see like, oh, like this is what its intestines looks like. This is what its stomach would look like. That was cool. I think they had some fossils also. I feel a little weird putting this one on here, but I'm gonna put it B tier. That feels right to me. And finally, the Natural History Museum of the United States of America, perhaps the world, the Field Museum in Chicago, Illinois. This museum is just awesome. It's huge. They have like everything you could ever want in a natural history museum. They have taxidermy. I don't like that. They have really cool fossil collections. They have Sue, the T-Rex, the previously world's largest T-Rex, but I believe it's still the most complete T-Rex. That, or man, they have this giant Quetzalcoatlus model. It's just a really great museum, and I recommend going there. I think I've been there 2 or 3 times. Every time you go to Chicago, you should pass by. Also, they have a really cool Spinosaurus, which I think I've yet to see, but I really want to see the Spinosaurus. And you could get married under the Spinosaurus. So I would maybe consider doing it. And that wraps up our list. The Field Museum in S tier. I'm going to put it top of the pick. Really nice. Really great collection. Just such a good museum. And I'm looking at it a little bit. Should I tinker with it? Okay, I'm looking through here what I think should be moved. I think maybe the Australian Museum might go to C tier just because it offers not that much natural history stuff. Of the ones here, I think Florida was the cutest. Yeah, Florida to B. These all feel pretty good. I could move. I don't want to like force a bell curve, Like I don't like when classes do that. But of these here, I could move the Barcelona Museum to B tier because it probably had less impressive exhibits than the other ones. No, but it was nicer than Michigan. It was nicer than Michigan and Taichung, maybe. Yeah, we're going to move Barcelona down. Barcelona's cool. No, we're going to keep it like that. It's okay to have like, yeah, I like that. Boom. That's our final tier list right there. S tier, we had the Field Museum of Chicago, American, Tokyo, LA, A tier, Barcelona, Elf Museum, Perot, Paris Museum, Smithsonian, the Burke, B tier, La Brea Tar Pits, Melbourne Museum, Michigan, Taichung, National Taiwan Museum, and Florida, C tier, Oregon, Oxford, Harvard, Australian, and then D tier, Rotterdam. I'm sorry, Rotterdam, but you didn't impress me. But I'm very happy with that final tier list. I feel like it represents my feelings. If I had to name my big three of museums, I would go the Field Museum of Chicago, the American Museum of Natural History in New York, and the Museum of Natural History in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. I do want to say nothing but love for everyone who runs museums. I know so much work goes into them. There's public outreach. There's like working with paleontologists in other countries to get all these. There's like transporting around special exhibits. Like there's so much that goes into running a museum. I want to say thank you guys for letting me be a little snob and exploring all of them. No hate to anyone at all. All love. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.